A judge in Atlanta this week rejected an appeal brought by 5 constituents from Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, a lawsuit, of course, that was brought by Free Speech for People, challenging Marjorie Taylor Greene's eligibility under the 14th Amendment, claiming that she had supported an insurrection and therefore should be barred from holding office. The judge in Atlanta rejected this appeal, which of course means that the hope of getting Marjorie Taylor Greene kicked off the ballot is now essentially non-existent. Now, this group, the 5 voters, Free Speech for People, they had filed the appeal because they said that the previous judge, who ruled she could stay on the ballot, made 4 distinct legal errors in his decision. And this appellate judge said, I don't care. No, he didn't. We're not even going to hear your case. And here's the thing. I supported this lawsuit and I said, if any of these, 14th Amendment challenges to any candidates have a chance of being successful, it was in fact the one against Marjorie Taylor Greene because of what she had put on social media. But the judge actually did point out, he said, listen, I'm not completely irrational here. He didn't say that, but that's kind of the gist of the ruling. He said, you failed to tie all this in and prove that her words encouraged these people, that her actions led to those actions. And if you cannot tie all these pieces up together, I cannot bar her from being on the ballot. And as much as I hate to say it, as much as I did support this lawsuit, that is the correct decision. Legally speaking, if you can't tie up all these loose ends, if you can't prove that A caused B caused C, you've lost your case. And of course, this was always an uphill battle for Free Speech for People, for these constituents. It was damn near impossible to prove these things, but at least they tried. I give them top marks, full credit for at least trying to do the right thing here. They did do the right thing. They just unfortunately did not have enough with their case to tie her up to this. Because I don't think the actual evidence to tie her up does exist. Now, that doesn't mean I think that she is innocent, by the way. Personally, I do believe her words helped spur on some of these insurrectionists. I can't prove that in a court of law, so my opinion means absolutely nothing. Now, here's where you might really have a chance, though. When we look at what the judge is telling us that you have to have, and we don't have it for Marjorie Taylor Greene, we didn't have it for Madison Cawthorn, we didn't have it for some of the other folks that have been challenged. You know who we do pretty much have it for? Donald Trump. Him encouraging people, go fight like hell, and they literally turn around, march to the Capitol, and storm it. I don't know about you, but I think if hard evidence exists, that is it. So a 14th Amendment challenge to Donald Trump might be successful. It's very difficult to prove because a lot of it also hinges on whether or not the judge in question who hears this specific case even views what happened on January 6th as an insurrection. If it was just a riot, your case is already thrown out because it has to be insurrection. It has to be an actual attack on the government. And if a judge looks at it like a right-wing judge, we've seen them do this, they say, no, it was nothing. It wasn't an insurrection. It wasn't an attack on the government. Just a couple of wackos doing wacko things. Case dismissed. So any of these cases, no matter what the evidence is, no matter how good the lawyers are, I don't think they stand any real chance of being successful. So the best way, the only way, unfortunately, to beat these people is at the ballot box. Marjorie Taylor Greene won her Republican primary with 70% of the vote. She ran unopposed in 2020, still got 74% of the vote. She does have a very good Democratic challenger, Marcus Flowers. I wish him the best of luck. I hope he is successful, but that's going to depend on those constituents in that district showing up and telling these candidates, we're tired of the crazy and we want something normal. But we can't do that. I don't live in that district. I'm assuming most of you watching this don't live in that district. It's up to them. We have to do a better job of convincing them that not only can they do better, but that they deserve better.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.